Hi, my name is Gabrielle Fick, and I am going to be presenting my proposed study entitled The Effect of Social Stories on On-Task Behavior of an Elementary School Student with an Autism Spectrum Disorder. To begin, I will be studying the effects of social stories. This includes the effect on on-task behavior, as well as what impact it may have on off-task behavior. This study will take place in the general education classroom setting, and additionally, social stories are a standard autism intervention. So what is the problem? Students engage in off-task behavior. These behaviors can include anything from talking out and distracting others to seat avoidance, ignoring directions, ignoring your work, hitting other students. There's a wide variety of behaviors. When a student with autism is in the general education classroom setting, they are expected to meet the classroom expectations. Just because they have autism does not give them an excuse to ignore the rules. The student must behave according to their ability level. The purpose of this study is to help the student meet the classroom expectations. Students can have difficulties remaining on task, and this study will be studying the effectiveness of social stories only, so that will not include verbal prompts or any other interventions. What I will be looking at is, do social stories increase on-task behaviors, and do social stories reduce off-task behaviors? So, what does the literature have to say? The characteristics of an autism spectrum disorder include the inability to judge social appropriateness, deficits in social skills, and emotional impairment, including the impaired understanding of empathy. And the goal of a social story is not to change a student's behavior, but rather to assist the student in the understanding of a situation, concept, or skill. Social stories are an intervention that draws on the unique ability that a student with an autism spectrum disorder has, which is rigidity. Students with an autism spectrum disorder have inflexible thinking and strive to rigidly follow the rules and routines. With this rigidity, social skills can have the ability to establish a rule or routine for a student to apply to a social situation. Additionally, research supports the potential benefits of social stories. This study will be asking two questions. The first, what is the effect of social stories on on-task behavior in the general education classroom in a student who has an autism spectrum disorder? The second, are off-task behaviors reduced with the introduction of a social story in a student who has an autism spectrum disorder? So who are the subjects? My study will be a case study following a 6-year-old male in his first grade classroom, and this is going to be in the general education setting where he spends most of his time. He attends a public Southern California elementary school and has been diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. When it comes to data collection, I will be observing this student for 10 weeks. Weeks 1 through 3, I will be collecting baseline data, and then weeks 4 through 10, we will be reading the social story. I will be keeping track of his off-task behavior using tally marks on a behavior chart. Then I will be graphing the total off-task behaviors. Additionally, I will be taking anecdotal notes, and in week 10, I will administer Likert-Scale questions to the student. Ethical considerations. Social stories are a standard autism intervention and are commonly used. The student will also be given a pseudonym to protect his identity. No clearly identifying information will be given. Consent has already been obtained from the principal to use the school, and informed consent will be obtained from the parent before the beginning of this study. The limitations can include that this is a case study studying only one student, and it is not a random sample. There may also be other variables outside of the researcher's control that may come up as the study goes on. What is the significance of this study? Well, it will inform teaching practices, and it will also impact my own personal use of social stories. It could possibly reduce off-task behaviors and may increase on-task behaviors. Additionally, it may improve the student's classroom engagement. Here are the list of resources that have been cited in this presentation. Once again, my name is Gabrielle Fick, and I am going to be studying the effectiveness of social stories.